August 27, 2020, I posted this. So it's nothing too fancy, they're just shots at home. Okay, so the idea was I'm bored at home. I can't go outside, and our home is not a mansion. There's not so many good stuff to see in this house. So my idea was to just take photos. To just take photos of anything I see that looks good, or I don't know. It was during that time where I was suffering from an unknown disease. I already told you that in the announcement vids. I was sick back then during that day, and I still decided to roam around the house and find something to shoot. So me as a photographer, of course I'm not like the expert, groundbreaking, professional photographers out there. I just take good looking photos and then that's it. I'm not really, a super expert, super great photographer. I'm not really that kind of person. But one of my favorite ideas is like finding the beautiful things out of the normal or usual stuff, or sometimes even the ugly looking stuff. So that's what I want to do. I want to try that out and test that out here at home because it's quarantine after all and there's nowhere to go. So what I did was look around the house and take some shots. So today's video is going to be about what I did, what's the thinking behind it, and how I did it. So yeah. So everyone knows that this is the Sony cam that I use to take those photos. I really didn't use the DSLR because I wasn't feeling, it's just random shooting, point and shoot, just point and then shoot, just quick shooting, all that stuff. So this Sony, I actually just tweaked a little bit of the settings, alright? When it comes to the ISO, I just tweaked it at the right amount where you can actually see the subject and it's not too dark and it's not too washed out and bright, okay? When it comes to the aperture, I really didn't mess up with the aperture that much, but what I do take into consideration is if the place or if the image is too dark, of course you need to lower down your ISO. So that's what I did, of course, it's pretty common sense. And if you're aiming for a shallow depth of field, more bokeh going on around, and when you're shooting on some very tiny subjects, you also need that aperture wide open. When it comes to shutter speed, I really didn't tweak shutter speed that much because everything I took were just still photos, except for the dog. Anyway, the dog wasn't moving that fast as well, so it's just the right amount of shutter speed, the right amount that would not cause you blur or anything like that. So of course I wanted to start it off and end it, of course, with a cool post-it, sticky note shots. I know my handwriting isn't great as well, so of course I did that. Just a post-it note, I placed it somewhere with wood, I lighted it up using the moon lamp. So yeah, that's what I did for the post-it shots. So this first one is the moon lamp thing, of course. The place was, of course, dark, the lights were off. The moon lamp is the only thing that's giving off light. So what I had to do there is, although I want to keep the dark atmosphere, so I didn't boost up the ISO that much. I didn't open up the aperture that much. I just tweaked it to the right amount where it will look perfect. And there's the shot. This Bluetooth speaker thing, I kind of have a hard time taking a photo of that because I want a good background. But as you can see, there are no good backgrounds in my room. And I also want it on top of the pillow, which has the same color of a pillow sheet. I just kind of set it up in there and I decided the plain white wall is the background. But even though it's not that super good, I actually kind of played around with a flash and without flash. And I think both results are just awesome. The Bluetooth speakers, my mom's actually, by the way. This necklace looking thing with Jesus and the rose necklace, At first, I really wanted to form a heart shape, but I can't. I realize it's so hard to move all of these beads, this thing, this, I don't know, it's so hard to move them. And that was a hardwood shelf, desk. It's a shelf, whatever. It's in my brother's room, so you know, it looks good. The wooden top looks good. So yeah, so this is the side of our fridge. I want to do a high contrasty look. Unfortunately, still doesn't look that good. I don't know, it still doesn't look that good. It's weird. So these are some couple of stuff that I saw. They're really not that, you know, good gadgets. They're just laying around in there. So I decided, hey, they look cool together, so I took a shot. So this is the dog I was talking about. He wasn't really moving so fast and running at the speed of light, so I was able to capture him just the right amount of shutter speed. It's okay. It looks cute. Filter and color adjustments also made a huge difference. It's fine. So this one is the messy, it's a sliding window. There's a lot of dirt. I think it looks cool and vintage. I don't know, cinematic. So here's my bike. Of course, you all know my bike, Mr. White Horse. Yeah. So I took a photo of the, you know, the greasy, messy stuff. Yeah, I made it look like messy and, you know, like working throughout and construction, you know, the kind of mechanical feeling. So these are my mom's wireless earphones pads. They're fake, by the way, and they're just very cheap. Whatever, they're not, I don't know. So I decided to took them, and mom also has this kind of pouch thing, which is pink. It's nice. It's pink. This is a long forgotten post-it calendar type thing, and it's sitting in our altar. Our altar does not look that good, but what I noticed, there's a lot of details and things going on in the background. There's a lot of things to capture, and I think it adds to the perfect, you know, accent. You know, taking a single photo is good, but if you're going to put accent and you're trying to work on the composition to create a better looking shot as a whole, so that's what I did. Of course, that's what I did almost all the time. The next shot is also that of the altar. It's a rosary, and the rosary container, that thing, it looks so cool and vintage, and yeah, it just looks so cool. So this next shot here is actually my LED mask, which unfortunately is kind of wrecked. I wrecked my LED mask and another mosquito repellent, which is weird looking, but emits blue light. So, you know, let's try to contrast the blue, the darkness, and yeah, it turned out to look good, like neon thing. I also have here the watch. These wristwatches, I do not understand how to took a photo of them properly. This is probably the shot where I wasted so many shots still figuring out how they work and how to make them look. Because first of all, these watches, you know, a watch is, when you're posing a watch, you typically just fold it outwards. Alright, you fold it outwards. I mean, you unfold it, you lay it flat. These watches can't do that, you know, like the G-Shock brand, they're like stuck in this position, in this shape. I don't have a watch holder of some sort. I just have nothing. I just laid them in my black bag, and I'm so having trouble, especially the focusing. It keeps focusing on the far and the near. It, you know, it's actually very hard to choose. So the final photo is not that sharp as well. What I do in these kinds of situations, it's either I move myself backward and zoom towards the subject. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how hard it is to take a photo of those wristwatches. Also, I had this awesome glasses, you know, the Edith glasses. Yeah, they're pretty cool. You know, it's kind of like recreating Iron Man and all that luxury stuff. So it's black and looks cool. It's black, it looks serious, it's mysterious, it's dark, and it's awesome. But I couldn't actually quite do the look I was trying to do. What I should have done is I should have amped the brightness on the actual photo and then just edited it in post so that some details would not be lost. Either that or I'm shooting in RAW. it all depends on the settings. Okay, you need to have the lowest ISO possible, but you can still see the subject. So it's kind of, it's a hard decision making to make. You kind of settle with one look, or just do everything you can to just find the look that you wanted. So in the end, I didn't take too much time, and I was sick, I was exhausted, so I just settled with this look. So this one is my old smartphone. Okay, and I also have an old tablet that has this leather casing of black and white. You know, the tablet is white, the casing is black, and there's some transparent spots, you know what I mean? And they look cool. They look cool. So yeah, so I took a photo of them. Black, mysterious, contrasty, details, neon lights, whatever. They look cool. Okay, they look cool. This is one of my personal favorite. This, the white thing is, that is a computer desk. Okay, it's an old computer desk, old computer tables that we're not using anymore, and a monitor that we're not using anymore. It's just laying around in there. So I decided to clean up the mess a little bit and place my tiny childhood car in there. And it looks good. I like the color variation of black and white. Unfortunately, the wall behind it is blue. Like, still looks great nonetheless. You know, blue, white, black, all that nice little touch. This final photo is no longer took by this guy, of course. It's hard for him to take a photo of himself. So I used the phone, that's the Oppo F9, to take a photo of this. So it's not that good quality other than the first ones. Of course, it's just a phone cam. Hey, don't underestimate phone cams. What the frick? I filmed the cringe lasagna using that. And that's it. A final post-it note, just like what I did at the first one. So that is how I did all of my photos. I know no one's asking. I just want to share it. I just want to share the thought process, getting into it. You know, it's just, that's one of my favorite forms of art, especially in photography. And me as a photographer, I want that to be my style. You understand it? So you go in a place that is not that does not look good at all, but what I want to do with my art style is to just explore the places and find shots that will still look good even if the entire place does not look good. So that's the example I did in this video, in this compilation of photos. That's what I did in our homes. So our house doesn't look really good at all. It looks like a pile of but I still managed to take these decent photos. I mean, they're decent, right? They're good, kinda, right? So this serves to me like a somewhat photography exercise, you know, to able to look at stuff and see stuff that, you know, does not really look good, but you can do something about it and then it will look good. So yeah, that's me, that's what I want, and that's my art style. So I just want to share it with you guys. Yeah, what's wrong? Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more videos like these. Okay, subscribe. It's completely free. All you gotta do is click. You can change your mind later. Don't forget to ring the notification bell as well if you're into that. But if you're not, that's okay as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys elsewhere. Just like that. It has no viewfinder. What am I doing? It should be like this.